5.1 million people globally have listened to a podcast in 2025. 584 million. 0.1. I can't leave out the 0.1 because that's important. And then another thing is solo podcasts like this have projected CAGR of 28.2%. Now, these numbers have been tested and brought to your attention because some of these podcasters these days are eating right now. The ones dropping episodes every week, clipping video shorts or clipping out their viral shorts, writing show notes that actually convert. They're not spending 10, 20, 24 hours, 2 weeks, 2 days. It doesn't make a difference. They're not spending all of this time in post-production. They're not. See, what they're doing now is they're using AI. I'm guilty. And I do this all within, I got a cheat code because I do it all within 30 minutes. And they do the same thing. See, what used to take a weekend now only takes less than an hour. Less than it is the time for you to get up, get dressed, go to Starbucks, get something to drink, and come back. Now, say you've been grinding yourself into the ground. You record your podcast, you try to edit it, you try to come up with B-roll, you try to come up with this, you try to come up with that. But you're doing it manually. So you're taking time out to do all of these things. And you have forgotten, or you just didn't know what it was you started this podcast for. See, imagine you are doing this and you're trying to pop out 3 to 5 podcasts a week. Can you imagine that? You have lost a lot of time. You're going to miss soccer games, baseball, football, PTA meetings. You're going to miss everything. So just imagine that. Now let's set the record straight. We can do this. We can pump out the content. We can put this thing on autopilot. So what you need to do is you need to just go ahead and lock in. And once you get locked in, you're about to enter my entire playbook. Because this is how I make things pop off. This is how I get things cracking. This is how I do things over here at the Solopreneur Chronicles podcast.
Hey, solopreneurs. Are you ready to turn your one-person business into a thriving empire? Welcome to the Solopreneur Chronicles podcast with Anthony Porter. Each week, we're bringing you practical tips, real-life stories, and step-by-step frameworks to grow your income, build your brand, and find balance in your business. New episodes drop every Monday at 6 a.m. The perfect way to start your week strong. If you love what you hear, make sure to subscribe, share the podcast with your network, and leave us a review. Your support helps us reach more solopreneurs just like you. Let's grow together. I'll see you on the next episode.
Hey, yo, what up? What's up, y'all? What's up? What's good, man? What's cracking with everybody? All right, welcome back to the Solopreneur Chronicles podcast, the show where we talk real money, real systems, and real freedom for those people brave enough to bet on themselves. That's right, I said it. If you're brave enough to bet on yourselves, we're talking to you. I am your host, Mr. Anthony Porter. And if you're new here, let me tell you what we do. We don't do theory. We don't do fluff. We give you the game, the kind of game that actually puts money in your pocket and gets you out of that hustler's hamster wheel. Now, today we're going to talk about something that's very important because the wave of the future is here. See, a lot of people don't want to accept that the wave is already here. So some of y'all might be falling behind, but you can still catch up. See, I remember a couple of years ago when people was like, man, there's too many podcasts I heard. If you didn't hear me in the beginning, 584.1 million people have listened to podcasts. They're catching up now. And if you pay attention, there's a lot of podcasts where there's athletes. Now, there are some podcasts that I love listening to. There are some that I would catch on a whim. We ain't talking about throw it in a circle, but there are some that we catch on a whim. And then there are some that I have plugged in. So when we're talking this, we got to talk about AI and podcasting phase together. And again, I know some of y'all like, man, not another episode of podcasting and AI mix. Oh yeah, but that ain't what this about. See, this is about how AI can turn your podcast from a hobby that you're proud of into a lead generation machine that feeds your business while you sleep. Because there's the truth. Podcasting is one of those most powerful tools you can have. Like you know how you got, if you're working a 9 to 5 and you got a toolbox or you got a tool chest at work and there are certain tools that you need. And as a solopreneur, you don't want to be spending 12, 24 hours editing a podcast, making sure everything is right. Plus, some of y'all might be doing it wrong. Now, here's one thing I am going to say. If you're not repurposing your content, in the clips, email, show notes, or even social media posts. Lord Jesus, you're leaving a lot of bread on the table. All right. So we're going to walk through it today. We're going to give you some exact AI tools and workflows. Now, I use some of these. I love a couple of these. I have tested all of these, but a couple of these I just love. All right. And these are some of these are some that the top podcasters are using. They edit faster, they clip smarter, they write better, they promote like a machine, man. It's like having your own content creator assistant right next to you, right in front of you. 30 minutes and you out. All right. So without no further ado, let's get into this, man, because this is something important. This is very important that you need to have these tools in your tool chest. So now, why AI isn't cheating, but it's leveling the playing field. So let's talk about that. This is part one. We got to talk about part one now. So you listen, before we jump into that, if you've been here before, welcome back. If you haven't, welcome to the fam. What we need you to do is we need you to make sure that you subscribe to the podcast, leave us a comment. We're on Apple Music, we're on Spotify, we're on all your streaming platforms. The video podcast is on YouTube, Solopreneur Chronicles Podcast. Damn, leave us a like, leave us a review, subscribe, okay? But while you are here, grab you a pen and a piece of paper and jot some of this information down because you got to take action when it comes to doing stuff the right way. So again, why is AI not cheating, but it's leveling the playing field? AI doesn't make you lazy. It makes you very, very, very strategic. See, you know who's winning right now? The people who understand that time is the most valuable asset you can have. See, when you have time on your side, and what I mean by time on your side, it means you can go to those soccer games. What's more important? Family, right? But as a man or a woman in today's society, also what's important is making sure you generate an income that allows you to be able to put your kids through trainings, put your kids in the sports events, keep them busy and active, so they don't fall victim to what goes on in this world today. Now, I don't judge nobody. I commend people who take the time out. Now, those who don't have that and they have some free programs, you don't look down on them either. But you got to have the time to get them there. Now, if you having a podcast and you sitting here and you can't get it done, guess what? You just don't understand that the moves that are being made allow you, using AI in your podcast, it allows you to free up that time for you to go see your child play volleyball, see your child play football, see your child in some of the academic scholar programs and activities that they have. Because see, everything is not about sports, all right? But that child looks for you to be right there to support them. So this is what this is about. Because sometimes you can spending 6 hours editing and go right into the programs that you need to be in. See, when you're booked, you get cranky, you don't want to be bothered, but it still means you broke. So we're trying to kill two birds with one stone. Take your time back and give you some of that financial freedom. Now, AI tools don't replace your voice. It amplifies it. So if you're thinking that you're going to do a pod, here's what I want you to understand. Doing a podcast using AI voiceover is the wrong thing. And if that's what you're here for, then you don't need to be here. Using AI tools to amplify your voice, to make you sound a tad bit more professional, to get some of the the hissing out of the background, that's what AI tools are for. AI tools are used to edit and make your video podcast look a lot better. Take out some of the space for your audio podcast. That's what AI is used for. AI is used to write out SEO-driven descriptions, show notes, timestamps. That's what AI is used for, right? These tools that I'm talking about helps your workflow. So we're going to talk about the tools. We're going to talk about the workflow. We're going to talk about the real game. Creating content that connects, builds relationships, and closes clients. That's what we're here for, right? You about that money, I'm about helping you get to that money, okay? Solopreneur Chronicles Podcast is doing their part, so let's do your part, all right? So let's talk about this. Part 2, editing audio like a pro. Now, there are certain ways that you can edit audio. A lot of people don't understand that. There are certain ways you can edit audio. There are certain ways you can edit video. There are certain tools you can. When you're editing your audio, see, this started out as the worst part of doing podcasts. You recorded a fire episode, then spent 3 hours of cutting out the ums and fixing the levels and removing background noise and trying to make it sound clean. Well, not anymore. So let's jump into tool number 1 that I use. Now, tool number 1 is my personal favorite, okay? My personal favorite. See, tool number 1 is called Riverside.fm. Now, lo and behold, this is the number 1 for me. See, Riverside is a AI-powered audio and video recorder, editor, a description builder. It's that one tool that you need to have in order for you to be successful. You can live stream from it. You get your show notes, you get your clips chopped up. So here's the thing. When I first started using when I first started using Riverside.fm, they was getting into the purpose of doing mostly just recording for podcasts and video podcasts, right? Now they chopped up clips, but they wasn't like Opus Clip, which is another tool that I use, and we're gonna talk about that in a little bit. It wasn't like that. But I've been using Riverside for like I think 3-4 years now, 3 years. Yeah, I've been using it for 3 years. And they have expanded, they have grown. They not only do they do the show notes, they transcribe it for you. Now they can take and do everything that you need to have done. They make social media posts, they make the clips, they break down one episode, repurpose it. They give you short clips, they give you 3 to 5 minute video posts now. So one episode can be broken down into many episodes, many shortcut clips or short clips to go on Instagram, YouTube, or Facebook Reels, also TikToks. So we can't leave those out, right? It's a studio. It's an all-in-one studio. And then when you want to post, so if you make a video podcast, that's fine. But if you make a video podcast and you make an audio podcast, you can even excerpt, download the audio and upload it to certain platforms for you to have your audio sound, your audio podcast sent out to streaming platforms. All right. So that's game number one. Now, tool number two. Now, I've tried this, but as you can see how I got excited about Riverside, we use it. It's a tool called Alphonic. All right. This is simpler. All right. If you don't have the tech savvy to maneuver around, this is simple. This is real simple. All right. So this is what you call an AI tool that automatically masters your audio. You upload the raw file, it balances the level, removes the noise, and spits out a broadcast ready file. Set it and forget it. Now, real talk, I've tried it. I used, here's the thing you got to understand. I used to outsource my editing, and it was like $100 per episode. Now I do it myself. Of course, I use Riverside, but I've saved $100. And if I'm spitting out 3 to 4 episodes a month, guess what? That's $400. One episode a week is $400. Now, can you imagine you doing this 5 times a week? You keep it $400, $500, $600, $700, $800, $900 in your pocket. You can take that $900 and start investing into other things. Like you can get you a nicer mic, get you one room in your house and treat it the way you need it to be treated. Things that you need to do, you can do, but you just got to be smart about how you do it. Okay, you got to be smart. So I'm telling you, man, listen. We are trying to give you the game. All right. We are definitely trying to give you the game. Yeah. So let's talk about something else. We're going to talk about part 3. Clipping content that actually goes viral. Now, when we're talking clips, we got to talk about it because that's the new thing, man. Shorts is in, man. People can get a lot of value out of shorts, and that's what you got to be able to do. Your podcast should be direct driven, but your clips will be picked out by certain AI tools that help you get to that point. See, if you're not clipping your podcast video episodes or audio episodes, you're not promoting your podcast. You got to promote your podcast. If you're not promoting, nobody's listening. You understand? I ain't gonna say you feel me, but do you understand? So we got to get to that point. See, the problem is clipping manually takes forever. You got to go in, you got to break it down, you got to find the best moments, trim them, captions, export, resize. Then for Instagram, TikTok, YouTube, Shorts, it's exhausting, man. AI fixes that. Here's the other tool that I truly love, Opus Clips. Opus Clips is the game changer, man. So before Riverside got into what they was doing, Opus Clip, I could take it, upload a full episode from YouTube. AI watches the whole thing, identifies the most engaging moments based on a score card that they use, clips them into shorts, adds, the automated captions, and even suggests hooks. Man, one video kicked out 30 pieces for me. It took it about 15 to 20 minutes. All I have to do is go in sometimes, add my clip, make sure the ending is added to it, which don't take long. I spend 30 minutes one day, because after I do all of that, I schedule them out. So I upload 3 to 5 times a day, but I upload to TikTok, upload to Instagram, I upload to Facebook, and I upload to YouTube. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. 3 pieces of content, 4 platforms, 3 times a day. Automatically. I just go about my day. I get a notification that says, hey, Opus Clip has uploaded a file for you. Thanks. There it is. So you got to understand Opus Clip. And so listen, some of these other ones I don't have, but Opus Clip and Riverside, I do have links to them. If you want to take them for a test spin, I'll put it down in the description at the end of the episode, man. Trust me, time taken is time saved. because once you take that time back, you can do whatever you need to do. Now, here's another one. Now, I've tried this one, but it's a solid option, but Capwing is another solid option, but it's more manual than Opus Clip. So, it's got some AI, it's got some clean AI generators, some smart trimming templates and all of that, but it makes your clips look professional. I'm not going to take nothing away from it, but it's just it's more to the point where it's a lot more work. From Opus Clip is 10 to 15 minutes. You might have to add another 10 to 15 with a Capwing. Here's the move. After every episode, I run the Opus Clip, I get 10 clips, right? Well, that's what some people get. I get 25 to 30. I schedule them out for Instagram. I schedule out for TikTok. I schedule out for YouTube Shorts. That's 30 pieces of content or more from one episode. Can you imagine trying to do that manually? So, you got to squeeze it in. You got to promote. And then not only do you have to elevate your marketing aspect. So at the end of each video, I make sure I let you know, hey, don't forget to check us out. All right, so that's a win-win for me. Now, we get back over here to part 4. We talk about transcriptions and show notes. So you got to have something that actually works, okay? When we're talking transcription show notes, you got to have something that puts the SEO right there in perspective, because you want people to be drawn to your episode. You're not trying to turn your episodes into written content. You're missing out on the aspects of the repurposing that can help out. SEO blogs, newsletters, posts. You gotta have posts, man. So your show notes are where you drop your links, your lead magnet, your call to action. If it's weak, your conversion is gonna be weak. So one of the tools out there besides Riverside, we've already talked about what Riverside does this automatically for you. But instead of worrying about that, let's talk about one that you might want to get into. It's called Otter.ai. See, Otter will give you the full transcription of your episode in minutes. And then on top of that, it's very accurate. It's fast, and you can even use the transcriptions to create blog posts, email newsletters, LinkedIn articles, or whatever you need. Okay? You can do all of that. Now, here's another tool that I use. Actually, I use 2 of these. So I use ChatGPT and I use Cloud.ai. All right, this is where I get spicy. See, I drop the transcript into the feed of either ChatGPT or Claude. I do both because I want to see what it's going to say. And then I ask them to turn out some SEO optimized take the notes that are SEO optimized and take some of the key points, turn them into all of the things that I need, like a compelling intro. Boom, in 2 minutes, I got that. Or turn it into a LinkedIn post that promotes the episode and drives people to my lead magnet. Boom, that's done. Turn it into an email newsletter that teases episodes and links to my free training. You see a pattern? Once I drop the show notes in, then I ask AI to do everything else for me. It's not cheating, it's taken away. Can you imagine trying to be a copywriter? And I'm not taking nothing away from the copywriters. Shout out to Jim Edmonds, because Jim Edmonds, he's got a copywriting book that I purchased it. And when I first got into marketing, those was one of the things that I had to read because I didn't know nothing about copy. You say copy to me, I'm thinking you talking about cheating, writing stuff down in courses. In class. I didn't know nothing about copyright. I didn't understand what I thought it was just you wrote something down and they called it that. Scripts, copyrights. Oh, duh. Okay, so there's a pattern. One episode becomes your transcript, show notes, blog post, LinkedIn article, email, 5 social media. It works out. So you got to think about this. Boom, mic drop. Your podcast is just not a podcast. It's a content factory. AI is your assembly line. Now that you got that down, how do you get it done? Well, you got to have some promotion and distribution. Getting ears and eyes to your show. Let's talk promotion. So you could take and have the best episode in the world, but if nobody knows it exists, it doesn't even matter. AI can help you with this part too. Again, I use ChatGPT and Claude. Claude digs in a little bit deeper, okay? Now, I'm not saying it's better than ChatGPT, but let me say this. Claude digs in to more corporate SEO. ChatGPT right now is trained to speak like I speak. So shout out to Alicia Little, because she's the reason why my ChatGPT talks and spits out content like I do. She taught a course on how to have ChatGPT act like your ghostwriter. Boy, it was powerful. Shout out to Neil Davis for bringing it to my attention. But understand what I'm saying. I was able to have ChatGPT speak for me, speak like me, my tone, my style, my persona from the block to the boardroom. Now, if you don't want to get into that, listen, here's something for you. Headliner turns your audio into audiograms. And where can you put audiograms at? Think about it. X and Instagram threads. It's quick, it's clean, it grabs attention in the feed. You upload your audio, pick a template, boom. And your branding, boom. Then you export it, boom. 5 minutes later, you're ready to post it on anywhere that you need to post it at. All right. Buffer's another one. See, this tool right here suggests the best times to post. Can you think about that? Think about that. You're taking out the guesswork by using these tools that are most effective. You want to see when your audience is active. So Buffer is one of those tools that I've tried and I loved it. All right. You you load up your clip, get your caption, add the SEO, let it do its thing set it to go to the platform, set it once and let it run all week. You done. You are done. All right. So, here's my weekly flow. I pregame on Saturdays. Need to know what I want to talk about for going into the week. Sundays, I record, edit, and do all of my episode work. Now, I'm a week ahead. All right. So I'm a week ahead. So when I record on Sundays, this is the video that I record on Sundays doesn't come out till the next Monday because all my episodes are uploaded on Monday at 6 a.m. on all streaming platforms, including YouTube. So I record a 30 to 60-minute episode. I edit mine in Riverside.fm, upload to Opus Clip, run my transcriptions through ChatGPT, my show notes and all of that, get my social media posts, and schedule everything out on Buffer. Total time invested, an hour. That's for the entire week. 5 platforms. That is leverage. That's the game. So in order for me to do that, I had to think about part 6, and that was the mindset shift. This is a business. This ain't for play no more. This is a business. So you got to see how you're thinking. You want to be authentic? People always want to say AI is kind of fake. No, AI is a great tool. You better get into the it's going to take jobs. No, it's not. It can't speak for you. All right, so let's keep it real. Your audience doesn't care if you use AI to edit your episode. What they care about is if your episode is valuable. So you still bring your story, you still bring your voice, you still bring your perspective. AI is just helping you deliver it faster, cleaner. Okay, and that's the thing here, man. You got to understand that is the major part of this whole thing. You can be authentic by spending 10 hours on a manual labor episode construction, or you can spend an hour and get ready and get 5 of them going and be perfectly well. Who's winning? I'm winning. Anybody out here using AI, they winning. And that's what you want to do. You want to win. You got to stop struggling and start thinking smarter so you can scale faster and win bigger. Now, let's talk workflow. Here's the full workflow one more time that is clean and simple. Pre-production. Outline your episode using ChatGPT. Research your guest. If you're using a guest, using AI tools like Perplexity. All right. Perplexity. Part. They dig down deep into the folk background. All right. After you get all that done, you got it ready. All right. Hit record. Be yourself. Tell stories. Drop value. Post-production. Listen. Upload. I do all my post-production inside. Unless I want to really get technical, then I will snatch it out and drop it over into a DaVinci 19 and do a little advanced post editing. Most of my editing is done in Riverside. If you want to use tools like Discrete, Autophonic, use all of that. This is part of the post production. Now, repurposing, man, I upload it to Opus Clip. Short answer, you get 10 clips. Long answer, you get 25 to 30, depending on the length of your episode. I run my transcripts through either ChatGPT or Claude, my show notes, my blog posts, email. Now, here's one thing I will say. Riverside.fm itself gives me my show notes, okay? And then I go to Headliner to create some audiograms. I think Riverside does that too. I haven't done it yet. I'm good ready to go to co-pilot or co-create, in Riverside. Is something new. And then when I start distributing, I distribute my episodes through Red Circle, and then of course YouTube. All right, Red Circle sends it to all the streaming platforms: Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon Podcasts, Podbean, every one of them is there. I put my links in the description, and then I just move on from there. Everyone has a lead generation. Now here's the problem that I'm having. I just ran into an issue with my lead generation CRM, and I'm going back and forth with them. Now, you want the playbook, email me and I will email it to you, or drop me a comment with your email in the description and I will send it to you. Okay. Because first of all, it's free. So with it being free, that ought to tell you that we're trying to give you value. But make sure once you get it, you understand it, because I tell you to, join the community, follow for more. It's got to be strong. All right. Now, I gave you an entire toolkit. Them tools work. The workflow, the mindset. You know exactly how to turn your podcast into a content machine that feeds your business. So here's the question. Are you going to actually do it? See, that's the big thing. Because here's what I see all the time. People get the information, they get hyped, and then they do nothing. They go back to overthinking, and then they stuck in a rut. I got to have better equipment. I got to do this. No, you don't. Just figure out what niche it down first, and then go through the checklist. Okay? Go through the checklist and be simply smart about what you do. Because see, if you're going to overthink, you're going to miss out. Because meanwhile, someone else has gone through everything they want to do, and they done took off. All right? So you need to start implementing these things today. And in 6 months, you're going to have a thriving podcast, a growing email list, and clients, with DM asking, hey, buddy. All right. So that's what we're going to do, man. That's what we're talking about. So again, like I said, I'm going through it probably within the next week. Last week, I was like, I'm working on the funnel. I had the funnel built. I'm ready to upload it to the episode. And I go in, and I'm blocked out. I couldn't understand why I was blocked out. So I reached out to them, and they come up with some cockamamie bull story. So we ain't going to trip. We just know how to fix things. All right. So again, put together the Solopreneur playbook. You can get that for free. Breaks down the exact podcast, the profit blueprint. And yeah, man, it gives you the 2-step funnel every coach creator needs, every podcaster needs. It gives you a 7-day plan, DM scripts, all the things, repurposing checklist, everything you need to be successful in the podcast game. It's completely free. We ain't charging for this. Most people charge $97 for that. It's free. All right. We ain't got time to charge you. So if you want to go deeper, join the community. The community is being processed just as well. We have to change the CRM because everything was connected. So we drop weekly trainings, coaches calls, everything that you need to do to be successful, to get up and running. Let's knock it out the ballpark. So join the community, grab the playbook, implement everything you need to do. Take your podcast, because every business needs a podcast. Every coach needs a podcast. Every creator needs a podcast. It's evergreen content that you can put out there for people to know exactly who you are. Promote yourself. Don't rely on nobody else to promote you. Promote yourself. Okay? Now, if you got any value for this, listen, subscribe to the podcast, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow us on all our streaming platforms, or follow us on your favorite one. It doesn't make a difference. Leave us a comment, leave us a review. Solopreneur Chronicles Podcast.com. Hop on over there. You can always go back and listen to the episodes. And that's it. I appreciate you taking the time out to hang out with me today. I wanted to get these tools out to you. And hey, man, I'm going to see y'all when I see y'all, man. Peace.
Thanks for tuning in to the Solopreneurs Chronicles podcast. I hope today's episode gave you the insights and inspiration you need to take the next step in your business journey. If you enjoyed the show, do me a favor, subscribe, leave a review on Apple Podcasts or Spotify, and share this episode with a fellow solopreneur. Your feedback means the world to me and helps us reach more people just like you. Let's thank our producers of the show, Sincere and Charlie Straughter, Rhea Cash and Theory Porter. So don't forget, for more tips, tools and resources, subscribe to the show. So just keep building, keep growing, and I'll see you next time.